Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Slingshot. And this is part 2 of the Superion set. Sadly enough, I only have 2 of these figures, and handling both of these figures makes me just want the rest of these figures, because I like them. And also, if you're wondering how these guys, both of these guys, are supposed to attach to Superion, it is very simple. Always remember, the blacks are at the bottom and the whites are at the top. That's just how it goes. There's a joke to be made there, but I don't know if I am strong enough to make it. Anyway, but yeah, Slingshot and Firefly will be the arms, because they turn into the white jets. And then Air Raid and Skydive will turn into the legs because they're the black jets. Simple as that. And with that out of the way, let us look at Slingshot. The one that was actually omitted and replaced on the original Combiner Wars theme with a helicopter dude named Alpha Bravo. But yeah, so let's take a look here. We have the nice bald head sculpt. Look, man, he even has like a split down the middle. There's jokes to be made there as well. However, unlike Air Raid, who kind of looks like he's wearing a helmet, this dude is just completely bald. However, what I do find weird, even though it's G1 accurate, is the fact that the glasses that he is wearing are also orange. They kind of blend in a little bit. But then we got the nice chest here as well. We have the nice arms, which do have a little bit of like weirdness because of the vehicle mode stuff. And then we have the nice legs as well. Bit of a gappy here. I know some people are probably going to be bothered by that, but then you're not allowed to complain about the Combiner Wars figures either, because they had bigger gaps here than this good guy does, because at least he kind of covers up the bottom. And then here at the back, we have like heels for days with the guy. Look at the heels for days that we have down here. One thing's for sure, any pose you put this idiot in, he's not going to fall over because he's got heels. I mean, he's not going to fall backwards. Maybe sideways, but not backwards. And then also these things. I don't know how these wings are supposed to go. If they're supposed to go out like this or just folded backwards. They are a little bit ugly, I will say that. Sadly enough, this is a little bit ugly though. But then also you have the cockpit here on the back as always with these aerial bot fellows. Even the Combiner Wars kind of did that as well. But overall, he is a nice looking G1 fellow as well. Also, I like the nice black here for the feet. So then let's look at the arsenal that he brought with him in order to take on the Decepticon. So we have these 2 guns that he comes with. Hopefully none of the other figures are going to have these guns, because I remember having difficulties remembering whose gun is who with the Combiner Wars one. But yeah, he's got these 2 like pistols as well. Very nice, very nice. That, unlike Air Raid, he can actually hold in his hand. It's actually a little bit too tight on this guy. There you go. Or, as you can see here on the side, you can tab it into the arm if you want to. So he can kind of be like Megatron. Or I don't know, because of the way that this is done and the fact that it's 2, he could also just be trying to pretend to be Shredder as well. And then that is about it for the storage, I think, because I don't really see any holes here on the back, sadly enough. I mean, you can store them here on the wings, but that's more for jet mode. But overall, he is a nice looking guy with his guns, ready to take on any type of Decepticon. One thing I do find weird, though, about this figure is the fact that Air Raid has a big Autobot symbol here on his chest, and this guy just has it on his wings. But it's like very hidden in robot mode. Outside of the whiteness, I guess, you wouldn't really know that this guy is a good guy. Anyway, let's move then straight into articulation segment. So his head can rotate all the way around. It has a little bit of up and down, and as you can see, no gap here, unlike Air Raid, so you can't push it back in order to look fully up. Then his arms are a bit weird. So you have a full rotation, and you have an outwards like so, but for transformation, this inner hinge here can also move up. So you can get in a weird outwards movement. I don't know if you want to use that for articulation, but you can. Kind of wish it locked in a bit more. Anyway, swivel here at the arm, as always. A double jointed elbow because of transformation. Nothing at the hands. The waist can rotate. No ab crunch or anything, because you shouldn't expect that from a main line. Legs can go forward and they can go backwards. Also, this thing doesn't really tab in all that securely. But yeah, and then in and out as well, a rotation here and a bend at the knee, which once again looks very weird, but whatever. And then his feet can not, like the front foot can go down, but they can't really go up. They don't really have an up. They just have a point where they are in place, but they do have ankle tilt. So at least you got that. So you do have some ankle tilt if you want to use it. I don't know if you do, but if you do, it is there. But overall, Slingshot is a good looking guy. However, robot mode wise, I will have to give that edge to air raid, sadly enough. And that is sad for Slingshot, not for air raid. And for air raid, that's a big W. Speaking of which, now that we're done with this, let's go into stats comparisons. Starting off, here he is with the air raid man himself. God, I can't wait to get done with this set. Oh, I love both of these figures. I think they're both really good. And to be honest, playing with them, they're already way better than the Combiner Wars ones ever could be. But they look very nice together. Like I said, I can't wait to complete this set, get Silverbolt and the other two guys that have not even really been revealed yet. But Silverbolt has, and that pre-order has already been put in. Don't you worry about that one. Let's move you out of the way so we can get into the Optimus Prime and Bumblebee comparison. Looking very nice with the two of them. Then to finish it off, here we have Ironheart, Sideswipe, and Jazz for the size comparisons as well. And just like with Air Raid, I don't have a Combiner Wars version of this guy, so I'm not gonna grab the Combiner Wars figures. I will do that for Skydive, Silverbolt, and Firefly, but not for these two, sadly enough. However, they will be compared eventually because of the Superion video. So let's get these guys out of here. Let's bring good old-fashioned slingshotting closer. And let's get into that transformation. So let's get Slingshot transformed into his jet mode. So what you want to start off with is very simple. You want to rotate the arm around and then double hinge it up like so. Rotate the arm around and double hinge it up like so. Simple as that. Don't worry about that. This is just going to become harder as we go along. Now what you want to do is you want to undo this cockpit section back here, rotate the head around, rotate the arm up, and then this arm is gonna sit here in this thing. So you want to hinge it up and then push it in. And there is a tab in the back here that is gonna slide into the slot on the arm that I showed you during the robot mode stuff for the weapon storage. As you can see here, there is a hole here in the arm. So you want to rotate this up and then tab the arm in. And then what you want to do is you want to come down with this, and then the two tabs here on the side, they're like little tabs that are going to slide into the two slots right there on the arms. So you want to take this and slide the whole thing in, and there we go. That is actually a unique way to do the jet mode thing, because normally you just have, you know, arms hanging off the, since I already transformed him, arms hanging off the side. But this guy actually tries his best to hide the arms. Then what you can do is fold out these things, fold down the feet and fold down the back, the heel, I guess, and rotate this up. Then what you want to do, you want to do classic stuff. So rotate this up, double hinge it up, classic Combiner War stuff, and put it down. The same thing on the other side, so rotate it up and put it down, and then also tab the bad boys together, close this back up like so. And then finally, from the head, back of the head here, you want to fold the landing gear down like so. He already has some molded back here, and then you want to put him down. And here we have Slingshot in his jet mode. So here we have Slingshot in his jet mode, and this is actually where this figure, in my opinion, completely excels. Because of, well, okay, you got the nice black stripe here, but still, the fact that he actually compacts pretty well. And also, technically, what you can do, I guess, is if you got something, you can kind of like push in here in order to separate the two pieces as well. He's cut in half! But that is for combined mode, but this is where the trigger point is, by the way, for this idiot. So if you just push in here, he just untabs like that. Simple as that. I would not recommend trying to pull them apart. Just push on the actual thing, which actually that kind of makes me curious about something. But I'll save that for a future video, I guess, for when we do the Superion stuff. If I could actually combine this with the Stunticons, because I actually don't know. Because they do technically kind of have the same type of connection, you know. It's one of these things going in there. So I wonder if you could put the back of Dragstrip in here, or Dead End, that was the guy. Sorry, I had to look at my Metasaur up there. But yeah, actually, you know what? I'll show it off right now. Here we have the two pieces of Dead End, as you can see. Now then, let's see if I can actually mix and match these two. If you can do something fun with these guys. Let's see here. Can you do this? Yeah, you can, kind of, but not really. Not that one, but this one. You can't really, you can kind of do it, but not really. But that's because of the fact that with Dead End, and I guess also the other one, you have these two tabs here that, these two tabs here that kind of lock it into place. But you can technically kind of do it a little bit. I mean, you can do this, and you can do this. You can have some play fun like this. But it does seem to be more like vehicle mode specific. Sadly enough, it does seem to be more vehicle mode specific. Actually, I'm not going to put you back together because you're going to go back on my Minosaur eventually. But yeah, but it does seem... so maybe you can do that with Vortex. That one was announced as well. Very excited about that one. Probably getting that idiot at the end of the year. But overall, let's get into the details then of this guy. So we got the nice black nose cone right here with the cockpit being completely orange, kind of mimicking his head. Then you also have the beautiful black stripe that I said in the beginning. However, there is a split here, which there is supposed... Yeah, come on. Let me close up that split. There you go. Closed up the split a bit more. It's not supposed to be there, but there's a little split there because of the legs being combined together. You also have nice blue and red stripes here on the wings. Look, Slingshot might actually win the jet mode, but coloration-wise, air raid is better though. And then you have the nice blue here on the back as well. Very nice on both sides of the back. And then at the bottom, he actually looks pretty cool. He looks pretty compacted away. I mean, yes, you have the feet hanging off down here, but outside of that, like, the arms, instead of just hanging off the side, they fold up first and then go in. That hides them away a lot better than normally, because the normal one is just hiding off to the side, kind of like this idiot. Or, you know, the classic one, Starscream as well. So I like the way that this jet mode looks, the way that everything kind of hides away. Absolutely beautiful. I also like the little details here. I don't know what these things are supposed to be, but there's like a lot of like sculpted in details. And the white actually does not really wash out the sculpting either. So that is very nice as well. So then next up, I guess we can look at the weapons, which can obviously, well, they have two ways to store. Number one is on the wings, like so, or this hole, and the other one is on the leg here. Apparently you can store it there as well. Might be for combined mode, who knows. So that you can actually store the weapons while also having him in combined mode. So my guess is that is the case. Same with air raid that came before. But you can store the weapons on there, and at least it works better than having a melee weapon on a thing. Because he just wants to stab the sound barrier. And since we don't have... Also, I like the way that the head really blends into the front here. And the fact that on the back of that he has a little wheel that has some detail on it. But I cannot show that off, sadly enough. So then let's move straight into SAS comparison. Starting off here, we have Air Raid himself. As I said, Slingshot is a lot better of a jet than Air Raid. But overall, I don't really hate either of these. I mean, Air Raid does the coloration better. And I love the fact that they are together now. I can't wait for the other guys, as I have said many a times before. And trust me, I will say many a times again. So let's move you out of the way and bring in the famous boys. Here we have Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, the famous Autobots from the Transformers franchise. I've heard that franchise is actually very popular. Except for with movies, you know. That's where the franchise is not really all that popular. But he looks nice alongside Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. And my guess is that Slingshot just like... And my guess is that Slingshot, just like Air Raid, probably can fit in the back of Optimus Prime's trailer. But maybe not because of the whole wings need to fold up. And then he's like a bit too tall. But technically, he could potentially fit in the back of the trailer. But I'm not going to try that, so move you out of the way. So that we can have the Jazz Weapon Ironhide So that we can have the Jazz Weapon Ironhide comparison as well, as I have to do, because these are my three favorite Autobots. Look at them. Look at the three of them all nice together. Let's get them out of here. Spook Slingshot in closer, and let's get into that reverse transformation. So let's get good old-fashioned Slingshot back into his robotic mode. So what you want to start off with, you want to take the tail fin and fold it down. A simple thing. Afterwards, what you want to do is you want to come down here and open up these leg pieces. Then you want to undo this back section here, and then you want to come in here and rotate, double hinge this all the way up, and then close this bad boy back up. After that, what you can do is if you can split it. And then you want to take the tail fin and fold it backwards. You want to take the feet themselves and fold them forwards. And Then finally the wings go backwards as well. And there we have half of him done. Especially if I decide to do one of these things. Oh god, he's in two. Anyway, what you want to do then is you want to take this nose coning section and you want to fold it backwards. Also take the wheel and fold it up in order to get rid of it. Raise the camera a little bit. Then you want to take the arms in here and just get them out from in here. Come on, there you go. Get them out from in here. Like so. Rotate them downwards so that they can get into place. Rotate the arms down and rotate it around like so. Do the same thing on the other side. And then rotate the head around as well. Then after that, the finishing touch itself is just to fold this down and tab it in. As you can see, there are two tabs here that just slide into the back there. Not perfectly secure, but overall they do slide back there. And here we have good old-fashioned Slingshot back into his robotic mood. Oh my god, he's cut in half. Anyway, the final thoughts on Slingshot. I thought it would be funny to start it off like that. Anyway, yeah, I think he's a very good figure. Which one do I think is better between the two? Air Raid or this guy is very much unknown. Because Air Raid does the robot mode so much better. But this guy does the vehicle mode so much better. So in a sense, it all depends on which mode you prefer. However, because of the fact that they don't have to do the extra combining bits, they don't have to sacrifice anything either. Air Raid, Slingshot, or any of the other combiners, they don't really have any sacrifices that they really have to make. So they can be as accurate as possible. Now, don't ask me why they decided to do all of this in the back. It has been a long time since I've seen Generation 1, so maybe that is supposed to be accurate. Who knows? I don't, sadly enough. I have no idea if that is supposed to be accurate, but overall, he is still a nice looking guy, even though I kind of wish there was an Autobot symbol here on his chest. But that is also probably Generation 1 accurate. And to be honest, when it's accuracy to the show, I am not allowed to speak. I'm not allowed to complain, because it's accurate to the show. If they ever remake Sideswipe from the Armada show, I'm gonna be in for a world of trouble, because I can't complain. It's accurate to the show. It's stupid. He looks dumb as can be. But it's accurate to the show, so that's gonna be very difficult. But here it's just, I guess, a lack of like extra colors on him that are accurate to the show, so it's simpler to forgive. But overall, I think that this is a fun guy, and because of the fact that of the skeleton combiner, you can actually buy this guy, have a good figure, and not need the rest of the aerial bots in order to complete the set, because you just have a good Slingshot already in your collection if you don't really care about completing the combiners. Because that was kind of the problem in the past, where it was like, yeah, but the combiners though. Now it's like, here's a solid figure if you don't get the rest. But if you get the rest, you get something extra. And that is always fun. So I would recommend him. However, I don't know which one of these two I would recommend more. But personally, I think I would actually give the edge to Air Raid. Because while, yes, the jet mode is very much lacking, he looks a lot better in robot mode than good old-fashioned balding Trump over here. But that has been my review of Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Slingshot Trump, Part 2 of 5 of Superion. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!